Hi, this is a quick orientation for people who are just getting started with D&D, especially on the D&D Beyond website. So for starters, you'll notice that since it says free sign up and sign in, I'm not signed in yet, and we will cover that. But before we do that, we're just going to orient to the website because even without an account, you can still navigate around. As a new player, you're going to be really in a few sections. Those sections up here are collections, game rules, sources, and tools. Collections are characters, campaigns, and a couple of other items. As a new player, we're not going to worry so much about homebrew, which are aspects of the game that we make ourselves. Game rules is where we're going to be living a lot. When we get into character creation, the two things we're going to want to see here the most are classes and races. Interesting to note that D&D is going through a major update in terms of game rules and including some vocabulary, and there is some talk about them changing this word from races to species, which is a more accurate descriptor of what we're actually talking about here. But for right now, we'll use the term on the website. Sources, these are all the different rule and adventure books that are available, and tools is things like the character builder, which as a new player will be the tool you go to the most here. As you can see, there is a really great mobile app. Like with all mobile apps that are companions to websites, it has not full functionality, but I would say about 70%, maybe 75% functionality. So as I've been clicking around here, you'll notice that each time I click on a menu, it drops down from here, this sort of sub-menu of all the features. So let's say my first thing would be to create a character. So I might come to My Characters and see we're not signed in, so that's going to be the first thing we do. I can either click here to get started for free, down here, or up at the top at the big register button. I like big red buttons, so that's what we're going to do. Ultimately, you can sign in with Apple or Google. I don't know if you have only a Microsoft account, if that will work, but I have a Google account. It happens to be the one I'm using on this browser, so I'm going to click sign in with Google. You'll get a very familiar single sign-in confirmation of the account. Next, it wants you to have a username. You can see they submit one. I'm just going to use my social media handle, @techspec, and hope nobody else has it. Then it says create my account. So it looks like the account was created. If your username's already taken, you'll get a little red message that says that. Your adventure has begun, @techspec. With your D&D Beyond account, you can do all these things. So when I click Let's Begin, we're in My Characters. So there's a couple of things I would like to draw your attention to really quick. For starters, here under My Characters, it says 0 of 6 used. On the free account, you can create 6 characters. I think for a starting player, that is plenty. And we can get into, and once you're signed in here with this account, you can then access them on an iPad, on a tablet or a phone, any mobile device. Later, you can look at under the marketplace, under subscriptions, and see they're relatively inexpensive for the paid player account. The main benefit to the player account is homebrew creation and unlimited number of characters. But for right now, as a starting player, that's the free account will do you just fine. So there you go. That's getting oriented to the site and sort of clicking around and seeing where you're going to need these sorts of things. You can see these create a character here. But if you're here as part of my website, I want you to go ahead and pause and go back to the website and look at the next thing before you create your character. Thanks.